Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Gooners podcast. We are on time. Right after the game is finished, we are recording this, so we will be out soon. So that we have Arun with us. Hi, Arun.
Hello.
And Deepak back from his exciting trip to India. Hi, Deepak.
Hello.
So before we start, the usuals, like, share, subscribe, support us. Reach out to us if you want to be part of this. This panel of discussion that we do every week. So
We should also mention about the floods in Chennai. We should be the ones sending the information. The national media in India doesn't seem to be doing anything.
Yeah.
So people in Chennai, we know you're going through a lot right now, but it's in our DNA to be extremely strong and come back from adversity stronger. So take care of yourself, stay safe, stay indoors, and if possible, take care of the people around you as well.
And for everyone else, just do try and support. We are not asking for money for ourselves, but we are not asking any money. You send it to the stuff that you find online, you find anywhere that
exactly
we could help people because it's been very devastating. So I hope, and I know I have been there in 2014, 15, 16 on all those floods. I know that Chennai is strong enough to come back from this, and we've seen people help each other. We've seen all these instances, but still staying away from now, sending all our good thoughts and strength and everything positive that way. Thanks, Arun. Thanks for always grounding us, bringing back the good things. But today we are here to discuss about the game, the review for the Wolves game. Let's start with this. There are a lot of ways to win a football match, or to get good points, or to come out on tops. But Tottenham seems to have found a different way of not allowing the referee to blow the whistle when the play is on. Do you think we should be following their tracks, taking that as a strategy and implementing in our club? Deepak, I'll start with you. Do you think that should be the strategy that we should be going for?
Yeah, I don't know. It's us, right? It's always. I think the referee would blow the whistle even if he's not supposed to for us. So I think we would stick with what we are doing currently and just go with the flow. Complain like ref support United, City, or Liverpool, but the biggest darlings are Spurs. For some reason, even after Kane leaving, they still get these ridiculous calls going for them. I don't know what people see in Spurs. They just maybe they are just soft against them because they are never going to win, and it has been ages since they want. Maybe they want to see some kind of underdog story, but it's not going to happen, of course.
But okay, so we will get back to the referee side and the games. But before that, around to start off with, right? Yes, we won the game. That's the that's the reaction. We are happy we won the game. It was we did play really well for most part of the game. Even though we conceded the goal, we never looked like we were in trouble. But the narrative around it, and I'm happy about it. I'm not complaining about it, but the narrative around it, Alan Shearer, I don't know if you heard. But the mainstream narrative is oh, Arsenal are just underdogs in this whole situation. What underdogs? We finished second last season, and we are top of the table right now. Why are we called underdogs after this?
It's okay, man. I mean, I'm fine with it actually.
I mean, I'm fine. I'm fine with it.
We're talking about Alan Shearer, who said the ref did a great job in the game against us at Newcastle, and then was complaining about the same ref within 3 days, again when they got a decision. So, I mean, there are a lot of these former players turned pundits who were amazing players. But when it comes to talk about the game, they're like it seems like they're in a time pod, stuck where they were 20 years ago, still thinking that things are how they were 20 years ago, not like ready to accept how football has moved on or like how things have changed. So if you're calling Arsenal the underdog, thank you very much. We'll be happily be the underdog. If finishing second, I mean, like if Spurs had finished second last season, they would be labeled the potential winners for this season. But then, like, if we are going to be underdogs, that's fine. What's surprising is that there are a lot of other commentators and pundits, like Gary Neville, who seems to have like sort of accepted that Arsenal would win. Not that I want that either. That's extra pressure that we don't want at this point. Like it's like one game at a time, and we don't want that pressure. But yeah, I mean, like, say what you want, we won the game, we are on like top of the league, and then that's all matters at the end, right? So you even if we win, they're not going to say an underdog won. The narrative is going to change midway through the season, like it did last time. At the beginning of the season, we were expected to like finish fifth last season, and we came second. So a team that was not supposed to, if we had said that last season, that would have made sense. But I don't know why he's saying that this season. But again, the narratives keep changing through the course of a season, right? We saw that last season as well. We were not supposed to finish in top four, and then we were like top four contenders, and it was like Arsenal have to win. There is no other go, and then Arsenal bottle. So it's like the same thing that's going to happen this time as well. I wouldn't be surprised. So, yeah, the narratives keep changing. It'll change. So, I mean, I don't know.
It's just frustrating for me because we have always been like, there is always the banter that is within the fans, but it's weird to see like that the mainstream narrative is always said that way. Like there's only like even our ex-players don't support Arsenal much. Like apart from Righty, who jumps up and down, everyone else kind of like puts Arsenal down a
Even
lot more.
Adams, for example, he came out and said that if Emery had been the manager towards the end of last
They
season,
would have
he would have
won.
won the league. I mean, like, did
Nothing
you
at all.
see what Emery did with the club? Like,
Yeah.
the Emery's style of football wouldn't have gotten us to the second place in the first place. We wouldn't have been challenging
We
for the
wouldn't have been challenging the title.
exactly.
Like
We wouldn't have
be.
been challenging.
Yeah. That's,
So,
yeah,
like,
just like for likes and like views, of course, like
they
just
need
to
to
be
stay
like
relevant, right?
relevant, right?
Yeah, exactly. They need to
That's
stay relevant. Like if Adams had not made a comment like this, as big of a legend that he is for us, we wouldn't actually be discussing about him right now.
I mean, if we talk good things about Arsenal, we are talking about Righty. We all love Righty. He always talks positive things about Arsenal. We all do that. I don't understand why it's so difficult to see Arsenal doing well and saying that we are doing well, especially in a week where we did 6-0 against in Champions League, where we scored 5 goals in the first half, which was never done before by an English club, if I recall it. And then coming back to this game, we started so well. We should have scored 3 or 4 goals. We'll talk about Eddie and Nketiah miss and like Jesus miss in a bit, but there were like more than 2 goals in that game for us.
For sure.
So, Deepak, regarding the starting lineup for this game, right? Like, I mean, it's an expected starting lineup. Raya coming back in the Premier League, and then like for me, the only thing was like the number 8 position, the left number 8 position, having Trossard start there. He has started 2 games right now in number 8 position. And for me, I've been saying this for quite some time, and I am going to use this opportunity to gloat that I am right. Not that it's not a big enough sample size for me to gloat yet, but I will take the small wins of being right at something in football. So, so Trossard at number 8 seems to be something that is working. That kind of works. Deepak?
Yeah, I don't think so. We have that much choice, right? Other than like Trossard, who else? It's Havertz or Vieira. Vieira was out, and I think Havertz hasn't performed enough in that particular LCM role to be starting. And I think, moreover, given that it was a home game and we wanted to dominate position, I thought like Trossard was a good choice. But I don't think so. This would happen in bigger away games.
Why?
don't think
Like, see, that's the part where I wanted to discuss.
No.
Why not? Because Trossard brings in the things like even last game, Like, imagine this. Last game, he could have scored one
We
goal.
won't like play like this like every single game. I think that Arteta has decided on that. If we
Yeah,
like
but
played
the
the same
thing.
way against City, right? I
Mhm.
think we wouldn't have won. It's more of like control possession and like Trossard creating chances. But even in this game, he didn't like perform but really good.
Yeah, yeah,
He
yeah.
was like it was like functional. That's all it is. So I see, yeah, it might happen for other home games, but I don't think so. This would be the same thing for away games, I feel,
Yeah,
or at
I
least for
agree.
the bigger away games.
I agree. Yeah, so Deepak, that's the thing though, right? I mean, like, we tried it, like you said, because it was a home game against a smaller team. But I don't think we'll be doing that. Forget about away. We are not going to play Trossard at LCM in away games. Probably we'll be playing him in from against teams who are like 12 to 20. I wouldn't even say like 10 to 20, probably like 13 to 20. The last 8 teams, I think those are the teams that we'll try this. Again, like Deepak said, it's a necessity right now. Like, we have four center midfielders who can play LCM, RCM, out of which two are out injured and are not going to be back until the middle of January. So it is a part of rotation. Odegaard back is good for us, but Havertz, if you have to remember that he played like full a lot of minutes in the previous 3-4 games. So it was good to rest him. And I would also say like it would be like I agree with Deepak. He did not do anything special. He did not do anything extraordinary. I didn't really see that working to the extent that I thought it would, based on what we saw during the preseason, the games against Barcelona and all that. Like we were raving that Trossard at a left eight would be good, but if we're talking about the Wolves game, no, nothing worked on that side in terms of what Trossard could
It's
possibly do.
okay.
As
I don't agree with that because I think that he was very good in that game. I think that he created a
If
lot
you're
of chances.
saying, if you mean by very good, he was doing the bare minimum and he was keeping things okay, quiet, without like letting Wolves take any opportunities on that side, I agree. He did that job. But if
No,
you take
not
that,
just that, right? Like, see, the thing is the idea of left center mid is not the creation. Like even last season when we had Shaka, we had someone run to the ball, run to the end
but
of the ball.
Xhaka was also making all those line breaking passes. He was making a lot of those passes as well. It was not restricted. It's a combination role. And I won't blame Trossard for it. It's not his natural position. We are just trying to have him play there so he can get used and we can get through December in
Mhm.
case something happens. That's how I see this entire situation actually.
I'm being ganged up here, folks. I think Trossard had a better game, and I think Trossard has a good, good future in that position. But I mean, Deepak and Arun are, denying it.
I
But
didn't really see anything special. That's my thing.
okay, okay,
He,
yeah.
he did the basics right. I agree with you on that.
But getting back to the goals, right? Like first 25, even first half completely, we were so good. All the movements were so good. The first goal was good, but the second goal was the cherry on top.
Yep.
The movement, the one touch pass. I know Jesus, we want more goals from Jesus, but that play, that what he did for both the goals, were absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, it was really good. He himself said that goal scoring is not his forte, which we have been saying it for almost since the time he signed. So yeah, I don't think, given that Saka and Martinelli are producing the goals, it won't affect us. And probably that's the way Arteta wants the team to play and wants Jesus to play. So as long as it's good, yeah, it's fine. But if he still has his, not just goal scoring, right? He misses sitter. That is the problem. See, if he misses like tough chances or even like let's say 70% chance, the cross which Saka gave and the miss he had, these are the things which frustrate us. If you're a good striker, yeah, you have to hold up the ball. That is like a requirement right now, like the modern striker. It is not.
Yeah.
It's not like something extra you bring in. That is the bare minimum requirement right now for a top level striker. Plus, you have to score goals, which is the part he misses, right?
And
He should
that's
have had a goal.
That's the thing, right? Like for me, people keep saying, "Oh, Liverpool won the league with Firmino scoring just 9 goals or something like that."
But Salah had 30, 35 goals.
Exactly. And that's the thing, right? Like doesn't have to be we don't have to cherry pick that one thing that worked. Of all the seasons, that one season, something like that worked. And then we are talking about like, yeah, they have done it. They have done it. I still want more goals from Jesus. I accept that he had a good game, but I think he needs more goals out of it. But the problem is that, right, the drop off from Jesus, even in that sense, even if we say he's not scoring much, the drop off from Jesus to Nketiah is so high. Arun, I know you have been supporting or like you've been kind of supporting Nketiah, but this game where he misses that sitter, that says a lot.
Yeah, it does. I mean, like I don't really know what to say. That's where I am right now. Because there are things that are in his favor. There are things that are against him as well. I think I was mentioning this to Deepak last week. Uh, for a 24-year-old striker, he has the number of minutes that you would see from like someone who's 20 or 21. So he probably is going to be a late bloomer. I mean, I don't know. That's the expectation, but I don't know if we have that time to give him the chances for him to like get to the next level. When you are trying to win the league, there's a certain level of ruthlessness that is required across all fronts, not only with the goalkeeper. And when you want to be a team that wants to keep competing, you cannot have players who don't pull their weight, or rather, I'll put it this way: you cannot have players who need to be given the minutes for them to perform. Like how Eddie with us right now is how Jesus was with City. That's how I would put it in terms of like the contribution, the way in which they are being used. Like they went without in spite of striker Jesus being there, they went without playing a striker for a long period of time. Well, we can call that what we want in terms of like it being a lack of confidence or whatever it might be, but that was the situation. We never do that. We still give Eddie the minutes that he needs to be getting, and even in Jesus' absence, he was doing a good job. Like there was no denying that last season. We did not lose because of Eddie not scoring goals last season. That was the thing. But like there's
But
an
Eddie did
improvement.
not score enough last season too.
But
That's
no,
my
I mean,
point.
even if I keep telling this again, we scored 88 goals, they scored 94 goals, we conceded 43 goals, they conceded 33, and that's where they won the league. That's exactly where they won the league, not with the 6 goals that we did not score.
For me, like AD's finishing and stuff, it's okay. Like striker missed chances, everyone missed chances. Salah missed chances, like 2 or 3 chances each game, and he still scores a goal. The problem with AD is the drop off when Jesus goes out. Right, the link up play completely evaporates. There is nothing. The ball doesn't stick with him. That is my biggest problem with AD.
Mm-hmm.
His first touch is like very poor for like a top level striker.
True.
So he has to really improve on that front to go to the next level. I think he does have a good finishing. He did score a hat trick, of course, this season. And yeah,
and
you can
even
be
that
you,
good. It was like perfect for a striker. He did everything that you expect from a
yeah.
striker, except like finish it. He hit the post, but like the way in which he moved and the way in which he like took the defender out and got over the ball from Odegaard, that was perfect. That's what you want from a striker. The next step is finishing, and like Deepak said, like getting more involved in the game. And that's why I again like come back to the point
Yeah.
of like him having played the number of minutes that you'd expect from a 20 or a 21-year-old striker for the first team. You play more, you learn more, you get more experienced, and you get physically better. When you're not given a chance to be able to do that, your quality doesn't improve.
The other
He has
part
to
of
start like every
yeah,
this Carling Cup, FA Cup,
but
all
we
those
don't have a
matchups.
lot. We don't have a lot of those games. That's the
Yeah.
problem.
Let him start in this Champions League last game and get.
I don't know. I don't know if Arteta will take that. When
Yeah,
knowing
we are
Arteta, he
top
plays.
of the table. Like, what's the? That's it. We are finishing top. There is no use in playing all these players. But yeah, like I think I saw a tweet saying that we get bonuses for
Yeah.
winning another match. So
Match.
obviously, it's not going to happen, I guess.
Yeah, but the other player, like I just want to touch upon it a little bit before we finish this Arsenal talks, because we have other games that were more interesting to talk about this week. I mean, I do not mean that Arsenal game was not interesting, but 2-1 is
It was
pretty.
interesting.
It is.
I just wanted a calm 2-0 win. And the player which you're going to say ruined that.
Deepak already knows who I'm gonna. All right, yeah, as Deepak was mentioned, right? Like Zinchenko, we have to talk about him. But before that, it's so weird to see this kind of situation, right? Like in Lance game, we saw that Gabriel did that clearance at the end of the game and was celebrating it like he scored a goal at the other end, which means this team does value their, clean sheets, those things. But with all that, I mean, I'm 100% accepting that Zinchenko is a very special player. The things he does on the ball is absolutely great, like the attacking intent he provides and all this. But the defensive side of it, especially in the last 15, 20 minutes, the last third of the game, has always been a difficult thing. And Arteta has come out and said, like, oh, he has his positives and negatives. I accept that, and we have been working around it for quite some time, right? Like, I mean, we always substitute Zinchenko, but this game we were not able to do that because Tomiyasu was out.
Why not? You could have substituted Kivior.
Yeah. Kiwior.
Yeah, but before that, we substituted Tomiyasu. We had to substitute Tomiyasu for White, and within that time, the whole thing went down. We were
No,
on
my
top of
problem was, not just that mistake was made in 88th minute. Before that, he made 3 mistakes that went unpunished. It's not like this game, right? He makes mistake every single game, not just this game. That is
He's
the problem.
Trent Alexander-Arnold on the left.
Yeah. So for me, like, he has his positives and negatives, like Arteta said, but his positives are outweighing his like negatives. No, sorry, it's the other way around. His negatives are like outweighing the positives. See, not every time you won't get punished, right? There are chances like this would have happened if it was a nil-nil. It would have happened and you would have been punished and you would have lost 3 points. So it's kind of tricky. For me at least, I am being like harsh or whatever you can say. For me, he shouldn't start once Timber is back. Simple as that.
But we don't know what Timber brings in, right? Like we have seen very little of Timber. I mean, we could give him a chance, but
yeah, for me, I would still like prefer Tim. For me, like defense wins you titles, not this stupid mistake. You can still create chances without Zinchenko. We did like last time when he missed 2-3 months. We did create chances. Probably against these low block teams, we might miss him. But I think we still have enough creativity in the team to create chances that we have to depend on Zinchenko to bring something offensively to create for this team. He's been like an utter liability defensively. There is no questions about it.
This is why I love having Deepak in this. Like he would say these things like with definitive certainty that you would be like, okay, yes, he is making a statement right there. He's like, no, Zinchenko is a liability. I'm trying to skirt around saying like, yeah, he has his limitations and stuff. No, Deepak goes, he's an utter liability. I'm gonna, yeah, this is great. This is great. But the thing is, right, like Zinchenko, when we talk about it, especially when we consider this unit as defensive unit, our central defensive pair is probably the best in the league. Not probably, I will say they are the best in the league.
Yeah.
Saliba got a yellow card in this game. I think after
Which
400.
is a rare occurrence.
Yeah, 40 games or something.
Yeah, I think it's his first this year, I think.
Yeah. So like and I am a big fan of Gabriel. Like I believe that if it's not Saliba in our team, Gabriel would probably be considered the colossus that he is. But and then there is Tomiyasu, who I feel has gone up a level. Like from last season to this season, he has gone up a level. And we have White. So of all these people, Zinchenko, that left back position seems to be the one that is not functioning properly. You know that even though we say Zinchenko adds attack to it, this whole time the left side of our attack has not been functioning that well.
Yeah,
We
there are multiple things to this, right? We sold Shaka and we haven't replaced him. He used to cover so much for Zinchenko that this was like negated to an extent last season. And then there was Martinelli. He puts in so much shift for this idiot that he has to track back so much. And he does that. We conceded the goal when Martinelli went off because no one tracked back to cover his ass. So there are like multiple things which has contributed to our left side not working as good as last season. Havertz has to step up, which hasn't happened, and Martinelli has been in and out due to some injuries, and we haven't nailed. Basically, like we haven't replaced Shaka. Simple as that.
Yeah, absolutely. But my thing, my take on this is that I don't think we are trying to replicate what we did last
Yeah.
season.
Yes.
We are not trying to play the same way, so that makes a huge difference in terms of the kind of people that play there and the amount of space that we leave or the amount of possession and the control that we gain. So for me, like I think like it's a late realization, but like better late than never, that we should not be comparing what we did last season with what we are doing this season. That's what I believe. So like as much as we miss Xhaka, I think like this is a different step, a different direction that we are trying to take. So I don't think
there are other things as well, right? We have many people are like talking about injuries of other teams. We are like missing like crucial players for us, like Partey and stuff, who brings in so much control to this midfield.
Yeah.
So yeah, and Martinelli had missed few games. Odegaard, who like pretty much controls that entire midfield, has missed a lot of games. So we have been like
Jesus missed a lot
tugging
of
along,
games.
and it's like I would say not a miracle. It's a great thing that we are on top of this table with this many injuries to crucial players. Just that it didn't happen like in bulk. Like for example, Newcastle has lost probably like 5 or 6 first team players at one go. We didn't have that. Like probably 1 or 2 were missed, but we are like so functional as that first 11. If you take one piece out, probably you would replace White and Tomiyasu and maybe on Zinchenko side. But if you take Odegaard or if you take Partey out, something gets missed. That's what we have been seeing this season. We are still not great attacking, but still we have scored like so many goals, which is like really good, and which is actually great for us that we haven't hit our peak form, which is good.
I agree.
We peaked so high last season and we couldn't sustain it. Maybe this season we would sustain it, and as I predicted at the start, we would win the title.
Okay, with that, I think with that positive thought, I think that's where we will leave this review for Wolves game. That Deepak has mentioned that we will win title again. So with that positive thought, we'll finish the Wolves review and we'll talk about other Premier League games this week. Before that, yes, please continue supporting us. Like, share, subscribe, and comment in and press the bell icon and all that. We are very thankful for your support this year. I know we're almost in December, and we have to be happy about this.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we will continue with our discussion on the other clubs, other matches that happened during this week. As usual, I'll throw each game at you, and then we'll discuss about that game a little bit. The easier one to start off: Brentford versus Luton. Arun.
Brentford won, right? If I remember right.
Yeah. 3-1. 3-1.
I think that was expected. It was a home game for Brentford. I think that was expected. Luton's advantage is playing at home. They're not like good playing away from home, and I don't think you can expect that. I like Brentford. I like the football they play. I like their manager a lot. very pragmatic man, very well spoken. So I like him. So good for Brentford. I mean, like they were expected to win it, and I think they won it. Like
No, the interesting thing is Brentford had 27 shots.
yeah.
And I mean, because we are playing Luton next, right? That's why I thought like this
No,
would.
that's the thing. I was this close to picking Mbuemo on my FPL team, and then at last moment I thought like, no, it's okay. You know, I'll take another chance, and dude didn't do anything. So for me, that was like just like a light escape. But you're right, they had like 27 shots. I didn't get the chance to watch the game fully. I just saw like parts of it, but like yeah, the highlights of it. But yeah, they took 27 shots and they had 6 on target. But again, like we cannot judge what Luton are capable of based on this, right? Like so if we do look at our past record with Luton, I don't think we won even once at Kenilworth Road. And that's the kind of stadiums where we struggle, where like, it's too close to the supporters and it looks like a house, it looks like a building. And you
We
go.
struggled against the same Brentford when they came up
Exactly.
in the
Brentford,
opening
Crystal
night.
Palace, these are all like places where we are never at our best. So that will be the biggest challenge. But I don't think that would be a good parameter, like, to judge what Luton are going to do. It was an away game for them. I didn't give them any chance. I'm surprised that they took a shot on target there.
Deepak, the big game of the weekend now. I'm just kidding. Burnley versus Sheffield. Burnley scored
Yeah.
5.
Yeah, this is like who is the worst among these two games. So we found out that Sheffield is utter shit and Burnley is shit. The hype around Burnley was too much that like everyone was like calling Winston Company as the next manager of City. They have been like very poor actually. But yeah, Sheffield United is like even bad that I think their manager is going to get sacked. I saw some news this like morning that he's going to get sacked. So yeah, these two are going down unless Burnley changes something with their tactics, and probably it will be Luton, the third team. All three they came up and going to go down.
Yeah, I think that's going because I think Everton would survive, like whatever happens.
I mean,
Everton is like that thing. What do you call that? It always sticks to Premier League, no matter what.
I mean, yes, the Everton versus Nottingham Forest game was the one I was about to talk, but like it was the most boring game I saw in the weekend.
You saw that game, I did not.
I saw a little bit. I wouldn't say like I saw that game completely, but I saw a little bit of it. And I tried to rewatch it, and it was like so boring. I was like, no, this is too much effort to put in.
I think that was the only match during that time, right?
Yeah.
12:30 slot EST. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. I tried to watch and I gave up. Fuck this shit.
Yeah, exactly. That's what happened with me. I was like, I'll just play my Baldur's Gate 3 game again. But the best game, I'll give it to Deepak because this is so fun. I mean, we all can talk about Newcastle versus United. The thing I want to know first of all is Ten Hag going to be sacked mid-season?
If it continues like this for another 2-3 games, I think yeah, he might be getting sacked, which is like a circle for them. It goes on and on.
They are
So,
shit. In this game, I will put it this way, right? Like
yeah.
the scoreline is 1-0 to Newcastle, but
It's very flattering for United, the scoreline.
yes,
Yeah.
they played
Newcastle
nothing.
has played like the same team 3 games, but when you watch the match, you wouldn't even know. Like you thought, like Manchester United was the team who played the same 11 for 3 games. That too, Newcastle played against who else? Chelsea, PSG, and United.
Yeah.
Those were like tough games, but still it looked like United were the ones who played against PSG and Chelsea and came into this game.
It's funny
It's
because I just like saw this tweet. There's a 50-50 chance that Ten Hag isn't the man for the job, but there's a 100% chance that a significant portion of players are not fit to wear the shirt. Once is happenstance, twice is coincidence, the 3 times is enemy action.
but the thing is, like, what can they do? Can they replace the
They cannot,
entire squad? That's
It's
not
going
possible.
to happen.
Again, Vijay, this is the thing. Like I said it in the past and I'll say it again. They should not sack Ten Hag no matter what happens. They are going to go through the same cycle again. This set of players who feel they are entitled because there are players, very, very average players earning 350 to 400K per week. You cannot.
Number one is Marcus Rashford.
Rashford, absolutely Marcus Rashford. Yeah, you cannot. I agree. You cannot get rid of all of them within one window. But that's the process you need to follow, right? You need to start slowly getting rid of them. When this is the kind of game when things are not going well that you would want like someone who's a part of your academy who represents the club more than anyone else in that squad right now to step up. And when he doesn't do that, that sort of like shows the levels of that dressing room right now. We are hearing reports consistently that half of the players are not happy with how they are being treated, and there could be like it's managers should not be losing dressing rooms like this, especially to bang average players who feel they are better than what they are.
Those
That's the
two
thing.
players would be 100% Martial and Rashford.
Rashford.
These guys are survived so many managers, and I still don't know how Martial is starting.
That's the
for
thing, right?
Manchester
Like, how is
United as
that
a
guy
striker.
starting? We are in 2023, and that guy is starting as a striker playing for 60 minutes. I don't remember the last time he played 90 minutes.
I mean, Thierry Henry was saying,
Regen.
"Oh, Rashford is."
Ballon d'Or, class and all these guys
And,
started.
and you know what the worst part was? Because of that purple patch that Rashford had last season, their fans were
Yeah.
genuinely believing that he's at Mbappe's level.
Their fans are the deluded ones
That's
always.
the thing, right? Like they are being sold these
Delulu.
teams that is making them ask for more from a bunch of players who are probably not capable of giving what they are asking for.
But
Actually, yeah, not
that's
just
where
the
Ten
fans,
Hag should
right?
do what Arteta did, right? Like, bench those players, play someone else. But that's not happening.
No, that's what I'm
He
saying.
has
Even
to
if they
play.
finish 8th, even if they finish 9th, Ten Hag should go through the season, at least to show to the new people that I'm playing with a bunch of shit fucks. I need new players,
Yeah, the problem is, right, with Ten Hag, why he is going to get fired is the players he signed, right, has been shit as well. That is
Yeah.
the thing which is not going to work for him. He has signed so many average players. Maybe it's not his fault. Like, why would else you sign Anthony for 90 million? Maybe it's Ten Hag's mistake that he just wanted Anthony and no one else, that United were forced to pay 90 million. So he should have been like 30 million player. It's not Anthony's mistake that he got, like they paid 90 million.
I mean,
And
even 30 million
not
is
just,
a lot for that guy.
Yeah, not just fans, right? These media simply hypes United. That Kobe Mino played. He's a really good prospect. Nothing against him. He played one good game against Everton. And if you see in YouTube, this NBC posted a video saying Kobe Mino's entire touch in that match, all the touches it seems. Why they hype? In the same match, Newcastle started a 17-year-old. No one gave a fuck. He has been playing 3 games and he has been playing really good.
And
So
the
it's
worst
just
part
like
sorry
yeah,
to cut you off. For me, like now that we're talking about Menu, the worst part for me is like in a team filled with people who are earning 400K per week, all of this pressure is being put on an 18-year-old
yeah.
who's playing his first season, first game, after like going through all of that he did, getting injured and all that. Like it
And he
makes
has to
no
play
sense
with,
to me,
and
It
he has to play with a fucking donkey McTominay.
like what was McTominay doing in the game? What was like seriously? It was like I was watching the game and I was like, I was happy being an Arsenal fan, like seeing United suffer.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
it's fun. But when you
Yeah.
watch like for the quality of football and like all that is happening on the pitch, like for me, like being the armchair manager that I am, I was like, fuck, I can do a better job than this. And like it's the player fighting with the manager. Like Martial cannot fight with any manager. He should not fight with any manager. He should not. For what he's done, he should not. If I was the manager of a team and a player like Martial does that, I'll make sure that he never comes back to the first team again. He's not Kevin De Bruyne. He cannot be challenging the manager, and his efforts were awful. And that's what he was being called out for. It really made like my blood boil. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, how can you do that? You're a player, you're contracted to. How can you do that?
I'm happy though. I'm happy that United are such a clusterfuck.
I'm very happy.
As much as I hate Mourinho, he was 100% right that his biggest achievement was finishing second with United.
Absolutely.
With this group, yeah. Yep.
Like forget about like what the board does, what like the lack of director of football and everything. The manager's coaching in this game was really bad. You're playing like I keep saying this again and again and again, and I'll say it. You're playing a narrow three. You're leaving so much of space. Why is nobody backtracking? Like Juan Bissaka had to do the job of 3 people, right? So like whatever you want to say about like the board, the owners, the roof leaking, the chicken sandwich turning bad, you can say whatever you want, but the manager is not coaching the players properly, and the players are not responding to the manager. Unfortunately, this would lead to a sack, and the problem is that the same cycle would repeat again, and there is
And we
no
would
good
just
manager.
watch and laugh.
Yeah, there is
That's
no
what we
good
have to do.
manager right now who can take that spot. There is no good manager available who can take that spot.
Okay, moving on though. Chelsea versus Brighton. I mean, Brighton always plays games that's always entertaining.
Yeah.
But Chelsea
This
winning
match,
the
Chelsea winning was like, Chelsea should have been down to 9 men for sure.
yes.
That how Caicedo didn't get an yellow, second yellow, is beyond my. Yeah, but that match, like Brighton didn't play really well in the first half.
They've been horrible for a while now.
They have been like trying. They have been injuries, but I think De Zerbi is like doing too much stopping and changing every game.
Yeah.
So that is the problem. But yeah, it is what it is. I think.
Still, they had like 18 shots and 9 on target or something.
They are a well-coached team, but the players which they started, everyone was almost like 8, 19 or 20. So obviously there are going to be mistakes, and they missed their leader in Dunk. If he had been there, they wouldn't have conceded this many goals or penalty. And for me, that was not a penalty, but many are saying it's a stone wall penalty. I think it was just coming together between Milner and Modric. Probably, it might be.
I think it was late, and I think like it's a foul anywhere else on the pitch, and if it's a foul in the box, it's a penalty. That's all it is. I don't think there was any malicious intent. There was no like. It was just like unfortunate. It was just like Milner's age catching up. He was slow, and that's all I feel about it. But I mean, they still got 3 points out of it. Chelsea. Is Chelsea on the mend? Like, do you guys feel that Chelsea is like moving towards, climbing up the ladder? So to speak.
They will get there eventually. These are like good young players who eventually get better. Like Enzo Fernandez is 22, Caicedo is 20. They are like young players. So, and Pochettino, we know he's a very good coach, and he can develop young players. So, not this season. They might still finish like 8th or 9th. So, but yeah, they would move in the right direction.
Yeah.
Probably if they sign Osimhen and stuff, they would, and they somehow they have unlimited money, and there will be no FFP.
Yep. The other game that was interesting during this weekend. I mean, we had a lot of interesting games this weekend. Liverpool versus Fulham was very interesting. I mean, there are 2 great goals from Liverpool in that game. Like
all four were ridiculous goals.
Yeah,
I mean, all 4 were good goals, but like I felt like the long range shot. What's his name? McAllister took. That was for me the goal of the week. What a shot! And then like the last thing that Trent did it was great too. But the thing is, apart from that, I felt Liverpool were there up for the taking. If there was another team who could have scored more goals, this game would have gone somewhere else. I feel that Liverpool's way of playing that basketball type of football is kind of catching up to them, especially in defense. Arun?
They need Alisson and VVD to be fit all the time for this to work. Because like I think they have been getting a lot of shots against them. I think they've
he has been saving their asses
exactly
this season.
So like without a defensive midfielder, a proper defensive midfielder, they will get caught out. But the advantage that they have is they have an insane attack. They have an attack that is filled with goals. Like even McAllister, like it's like the kind of football that you would play in school when you're in high school. Your defenders would be the only people defending, and everyone else would be involved in the attack in some way or the other. And that's what they're doing. They have 6 people up front who are capable of producing moments of magic at any point in time during the game, and it's filled with goals. Like Deepak said, they Salah is the kind of player, like he might miss 4 chances in a game, but if he gets another couple of chances, you're going to get 2 goals out of it. And
Yeah.
those 3 players that they have in there right now in the form of McAllister, Szoboszlai, and who's the third one? I forget. He's also
Gravenberch.
Gravenberg, like, whoever comes in, they all have the ability to create something. And when you're creating chances, even if you do concede, you can save yourself. But like you create chances, you are going to score goals. I don't know if it is good enough to sustain for a title run, but if they are in a good position by the end of December, I see them investing. If they are around the same spots that they are right now, within touching distance of the team that is on first, or if they are first, I see them definitely investing in a defensive midfielder in January. So for me, they are in the title hunt. So
Yeah.
it might catch up with them at some point, but I think they'll stem that before that. Plus, like they have a manager who like it all starts from the top, right? They have a manager who is probably like in terms of mentality, he's right out there at the top with the best in the world. So he knows how to coach the team and he knows how to get the best out of them. And they've been doing that. Like that's why I said like it's very dependent on Allison and VVD, and they had the players with the experience like Arnold, like Robertson, like VVD and Salah who have won this thing before, and Allison.
But the thing is, like, I feel this is their last run, right? Like, I don't see them having this team for like it's a waning team. All the players are aging. And they might
No, they got like all of these guys that they got are really young right now. They got like
Young players. They have
McAllister is
only
young,
Salah and VVD is
PVD,
old.
yeah,
Alisson will play for another 5 years and he is light years better than any goalkeeper in Premier League right now.
yeah. So that's the thing. Even if Salah does leave, they'll probably get 200 million for him.
Yeah.
And or like even let's say 150 million, 120 million, even if you say 120 million, they can get another player to replace him.
and
And
then
The
they can
way
get
Salah
Mbappe.
is, the way Salah is playing has changed, right? He is creating more. If someone else other than Nunes had been a striker, right, Salah would have had like 10 assists by now.
Even in this game, he missed like
He missed 2-3 chances. He does bring something to the team. He causes some kind of chaos. I think Liverpool would be the toughest team you would face in this league. There is goals in them. So even if you defend properly, somehow they are
find a
scoring
way.
goals.
Yeah.
Fulham, like, they didn't do anything wrong. They literally
No.
scored 4 bangers.
Yep.
So it's tough to play against Liverpool. So let's see.
The next game, I mean, the next two, I think we'll get through really quickly. It's like West Ham versus Crystal Palace, 1-1 draw. I did not find it very interesting. I don't think I find West Ham's gameplay any interesting at all. Although I like every game week, I thank them for giving us rice. But it was not an interesting game for me. 1-1. That's all it is. And Bournemouth, Aston Villa again. I think Bournemouth was
Bournemouth, they have improved a little bit. That coach is like highly rated, right? Ariola, someone. So if he survives with Bournemouth, right, it's another thing. Even like for me last year, Gary O'Neill should have been the coach of the year for surviving with Bournemouth in the league.
That is true.
That was probably the worst Premier League team I have seen on paper. But somehow they survived, and this manager is also continuing that.
But this year we have
way
worse.
This year we have candidates. The Sheffield United, oh my God.
But the game that I want to talk about is like, of course, the City versus Spurs game. First of all, that thing what the referee did. I know we have been talking about referee a lot, but most of the time we talk about referee against like Arsenal, and it is kind of redundant. But that for me was criminal. What he did was criminal.
Yeah, I don't know what else to say. I don't know. I was
But
shocked to even see that.
yeah,
But
that
yeah,
you
I'm
play an
happy it
advantage and then
happened
stop
against
when the
City.
advantage happened. I mean,
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said in the group, right? If I was Haaland, I would have just went and slapped him.
I mean, Haaland was very close to it. I think. I
Yeah,
think he was very close to
No,
it.
but the funny part is like I think he touched the referee.
Yeah, I
yeah.
think he
He
might get a
shouldn't have
ban.
done that, but I don't think he's going to get any ban or anything. I think they're just going to be like what are they going to be? I don't think they're going to do anything with Haaland or the City team. I
Yeah,
probably
it's after all City.
yeah.
They are not going to get punished. They are the second darlings of like
I mean,
uh,
did you guys see Pep Guardiola coming out and like, oh, I don't want
uh,
to say anything like Arteta, like
yeah, I know.
just
Yeah,
taking
but
a
this
piss of.
game was really good. City should have killed this game. They should have scored 4 in first half, and they paid the price for it. At
I
least
mean,
like I
that
would.
kid, even when that kid Rico Lewis came in, I was very impressed with that kid. He was
He's
very
really
good.
good. Yeah, Spurs somehow get points against City, no matter what.
And the thing is, like for Spurs, right? I mean, I hate giving any sort of compliments to them, but Son has been really, really, really good for them. I mean, he has just been taking that team on. Even in this game, the first goal, I think it was just pure brilliance from Son.
Yeah,
And
I
Kulusevski has been good too.
yeah, I think I felt they would really struggle. Obviously, you would struggle if you like lose literally like six of your starting level. Like there is no two center backs, and there is your no main creative midfielder. And yeah, I thought they would struggle, but I think yeah, I don't want to do this, but I would give credit for Mr. Mate to sticking with his philosophy with the same set of other set of players. Probably,
Mm.
yeah, they might struggle, but yeah, whatever he's doing and stuff, it's good for Spurs at least. Yeah, they are not going to win anything, but
Yeah,
at least they are seeing good football. At least it's good to watch or fun to watch than like when they played under Mourinho and Conte.
but
Mm.
even with this, I don't think like they are going to challenge for anything next season.
No, no way. It's like they literally had 3 losses and a draw in the
No,
last 4 games.
not this season. Even next season. I mean, like that's what I mean. Like it's if you are going to continue playing this way, you are not going to be able to win anything.
Mm.
Yeah, like it's naive, but it's fun to watch.
Yeah,
It's what it is. Yeah,
It's what we felt about Leeds under Bielsa,
yeah,
mhm.
right?
yep.
Like we all liked seeing the game, but we know that they are not gonna go anywhere with that. All right, that's the end of it. I think we have spoken a lot about everything this week. Thank you, guys. Thank you for joining in today. And quick prediction for the Luton game, Deepak.
Think it will be a tough game given that it's a newly promoted team and their home stadium and stuff. I think you would still come with a 2-0 win.
Arun?
It'll be either a 1-0 or we might let them score one and make it a 2-1.
Yeah, it might happen, but yeah.
Okay. Thank you, guys. Thanks for that. And I think that's the end of today's episode. See you after the Luton game. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.